And I want to bring in Sarah Bidgood in Monterey, California for that. She is the director of the Eurasia Non-Proliferation Program at the Middlebury Institute of International Studies. Appreciate you being with us. Let's just start, all the speculation about what type of weapon is being tested. What do you make of it?
Sure, thank you. So, as you said in your introduction, we are operating under the impression that this is a nuclear-powered cruise missile. It does seem to be one of the delivery systems that Vladimir Putin spoke about in his 2018 sort of State of the Union address. Preparations for this test, we now know, have been underway for about a year, according to Russian authorities. So this is not an entirely new delivery system, but it's something on which we're keeping a very close eye.
What do you make of what happened with this explosion? I mean, in northern Russia, they detected a brief rise in radiation levels. How concerning is that, and how concerning is it that it blew up and killed people?
Yeah, I mean, it's very concerning. Of course, what we are hearing from the Russian media, and what is largely what we have to operate on in that respect, is that there was a short rise in radiation, but that levels returned to normal just about, an hour or so after this transpired. Of course, more information, I'm sure, will be forthcoming in the next few days. But as far as how concerning it is that individuals have died as part of this testing, of course, that's hugely concerning, and it's part of the calculus when we think about whether or not it's worth it at all to pursue this type of weaponry.
Yeah, what would it be used for? I mean, I imagine if it's nuclear powered, it could just go on. Well, not endlessly, I imagine, but are you flying around a little mini nuclear reactor there? So when this thing comes down, you're going to have the effect of that. What is it used for?
Yeah, I mean, that's a great question. So, again, the information that we have has been a bit halting, but we do know the characterization that Vladimir Putin gave when he initially started to debut these delivery systems. He said, and the Russian official line is that these are going to be used to circumvent U.S. ballistic missile defense. That is something that could have a potentially very destabilizing effect on U.S.-Russia relations, which, as you know, are already in a deep state of crisis. One of the other things that's, of course, a source of concern is the fact that we don't really have an arms control architecture that's capable of handling these types of new technologies. So that is something that I think a lot about in my work.
Yeah, I'll bet. And in fact, we're wondering, about what the US is doing. And Donald Trump, in fact, in the last few minutes helped us out with that, because part of what he tweeted was this. I'll read the whole thing. The United States learning much from the failed missile explosion in Russia. But here's the thing. He said, we have similar, though more advanced technology. The Russian Skyfall explosion has people worried about the air around the facility and far beyond. Not good. The key line there that I find interesting and like your thoughts on, we have similar, though more advanced technology.
Yeah, that I don't exactly know what to make of that, to be honest. And I had not seen that tweet before you read it. But I do know that in the official statement that Russians gave at the nuclear design laboratory where these victims worked, that they did make reference to a NASA program that uses small reactor technology for peaceful space exploration. So I'm not sure if that's in reference to that or not, but I can imagine that for a Russian government that's already extremely distrustful of U.S. benign intent, that would be the type of thing they'd find concerning and provocative.
And in a strategic sense, do you think this is a blow for Vladimir Putin in terms of his aims to pull ahead of the US, get that strategic upper hand? I suppose there's questions now about whether the big touted nuclear build-up could be beyond Russia's capabilities if it's not working.
Yeah, that's a great question, and it's honestly one to which we don't know the answer. I would, caution, and I try to do this in my own analysis, that thinking of the Russian government as a sort of monolith is not really the right approach. There are different parochial interests. There are different enterprises within, the nuclear industrial complex there that all have different interests and different motivations. So speaking about, sort of writ large, what is the motivation behind this and what will they do moving forward is something that's tough to say, but I'm sure we'll get more insights in the coming days.
Sarah Bidgood, thanks for sharing your expertise with us. Very helpful. Thank you.
Thank you.